So, my next project is it's sitting in my stash for years actually. I vaguely remember when we bought it, but it's a lovely aeroplane, the Dakota. Well, known to the British as the Dakota, probably the Americans. Americans also call it the Skytrain, DC-3, Goonie Bird. It was an airliner, quite a revolutionary airliner at the time, but in the 30s in America, following, this is the DC-3, there was a DC-2 and a DC-1. This was the development. It was the one that got chosen really to become transport for American forces, certainly, and a lot were given to Britain to fly in Transport Command. Was it called? Don't know. Was it called Transport Command then, under Lee Slend? And I remember watching a program done by John Peel. He did a series of documentaries on transport that just lasted. So he did a transit van, he did one or two other bits and pieces, and he did the Dakota. And apparently one of the things about the Dakota was it was so over-engineered at the time that even now there are Dakotas that are decades old still flying, because most of the components don't have any known fatigue life. Modern aeroplanes always have, every part has a fatigue life. It's worked out, it's important, it's valuable. The Dakotas don't apparently have one. I'm not entirely sure I know what I'm talking about, but...
Oh, well, you sound convincing. That's enough, isn't it?
So, a lovely aeroplane, radial engines, just flies forever. They're still flying, they're still used. They're
Can you turn it round so I can look at the dashboard? Oh, no, the other way around. Let's do it. Because I saw you doing that the other day. I'm going to put the... just to get in close.
It's a tiny amount. We may not be able to catch it all, but...
Oh, I caught all of it.
Chinese kit, Trumpeter. It's got a considerable amount of interior detail added, which I'm struggling with because the instructions aren't entirely clear.
And we won't see it.
And no, as with many things that I build, here is the interior in development, you see. If you start putting it inside the fuselage, like so, you realise you won't be able to see most of it, especially this bit up here. You'll see through the Astrodome and maybe through the cockpit window, but it'll be quite obscured. There are side windows, but it'll be quite obscured. But for me, it's worth doing because you'll see a bit of it, and because it's going to be a D-Day version for dropping American paratroops over the Cotentin Peninsula in France. It'll be flying with an open door.
Now, D-Day version, stripes.
Yeah, but you can see there's a huge loading cargo.
Oh, yeah.
But one, I forget which. One is just not applied at all. It's left open. So all the troops, paratroops are sitting on these bench seats, parachutes ready, static line. When the green light goes on, think about that must be the light.
Move your finger.
Tiny little pimple thing. When the pilots reckon they're in the right place, the light goes green and the troops start running down here and out. They just jump. So quite a good kit, actually. It's quite nicely detailed. I've got replacement. The cowlings aren't quite right, a bit too enclosed. So I've got replacement cowlings. I forget where, I can't even remember. It's so long ago, I can't even remember where I found them. But they're more refined, better shape.
So you've been working away on here sort of quite quickly.
Yes. There's a lot of interior, but it's actually quite a nice kit. They've got rubberish tyres. I'm not entirely sure about that. There's no tread detail on those. I might have to abrade them a bit. I don't think you can paint them, but I'll have to sand the outer edge to make them look as if they've been up and down on tarmac at high speeds a lot. Metal undercarriage. There is a choice of metal or ordinary plastic. But as you can see, there's a massive bits. Here's the engine parts. For instance.
I'll put that together tonight whilst you're in bed.
Oh, right. You'll what? Put it all in the box,
Chuck some glue in.
and shake it.
Yeah.
It's not a Tamiya kit.
Oh, so I can't do that then?
It won't work. I've done the outer wings. They've got nice spars through them to put them in place properly. Unhelpful transfers. Decals, as they're called these days. I haven't got them out of the packet yet. But you can see some of the fuselage stars are part of the transfer for the invasion stripes. Now these are invasion stripes because they're done on the transfer. They're black and white, and invasion stripes were painted on, if not the night before the invasion, it would only have been 24 to 48 hours beforehand, with brushes they got from the local decorators in England. So they were pretty rough. A lot of paint runs.
So these are too neat.
These are far too neat. You know, and it's always a debate. Do you want your aeroplane to look as if it'd been a real mess or not? Well, I want it to be moderately historically accurate. So I'm going to have, I've got spare transfers. I'm going to have to find spare separate stars and bars.
Yeah.
These will be okay, of course. But I will paint these with a brush. And I'll use a very dark grey because that always works better than black, and an off-white.
I'm very bored now. Are you done?
Oh, well, you are, but the visitors to the site may not be.
Oh.
It's quite a big aircraft, actually. That's one of the things I gained from making models, is to set the proportions of the aeroplane. It's quite big. I'm quite surprised. I've seen them fly, you know, air shows and things. The Battle of Britain Memorial Flight has one. They train their multi-engine pilots on them. But a nice kit, actually. I shouldn't get too paranoid about it being Chinese, should I, really? There you go. I think China is taking over the world by selling us things that we can't, eventually won't be able to do without.
Thanks.
Go. Right.
I'm thanking you on behalf of the viewers.
What, before you fall over in sleep? Dead?
Yeah.
Dead bored?
Yeah.
Right then. Ta-ta. Au revoir. À bientôt.